Hello, everybody. Hey, Amy.
Hey.
How are you?
Well, I am sad and confused about all of this, like everybody else.
Me too.
So,
It seems that we had planned on going live about Suzanne's case. We were gathering information all week long, but we didn't really want to go live because it's been pretty tight-lipped. There's not been much information from law enforcement, and we didn't want to say one thing and that not be true or anything like that. So here we are today. There appears to be a break in her case. And from the looks of it, I don't think it's going to be a happy ending.
no. And it's just things were getting so confusing in the Facebook group. It was just better to kind of come together and talk about everything that's going on and talk about what's confirmed and what isn't, because we're all kind of watching this unfold together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
I will say, I already said in the chat, the CBI and local law enforcement has already said they will not be making a statement until the search is concluded. So you may hear things, but you won't know that they're official. So I know that's frustrating.
Yes, that's what's frustrating because there's a lot of talk. There's definitely a lot of talk, and that's totally understandable. That happens within the true crime community, within true crime Facebook groups, and it's so hard to know at this moment what's going on. We do know there's an area being searched in regards to Suzanne. There are some mentions, some very sad mentions of things that are going on. But we have nothing confirmed from law enforcement.
No.
True Helper did text me and said that a friend of Suzanne's confirmed that they have found her at one of his job sites. Thank you for texting me, True Helper. What's hard about that is law enforcement has said nothing. We're still waiting on an update for that from them. I also like to believe that people wouldn't say these types of things if they weren't true. You know, I can't see a motive for a friend of Suzanne saying that.
I can't either.
So that's
but yeah, just not to keep it in the back of your head. But I personally, I need to hear it. I need to hear it from law enforcement. I think you do too, Danielle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to confirm that she has been found or anything like that. That is the word that is out there. So that is what is being said. That's what people are hearing. That's what's going on today and presently. There's a lot of talk about that right now. And I personally don't want to confirm that is true until I know it's true. And like you said, you don't either. So.
Right. I mean, I think we can talk about some of the things that are being said as long as we're very, very clear that this is all hearsay, what have you.
Right. As of right now, what's being said is not being said by law enforcement or any investigating officials.
Right. So one of the things we've heard is that there was concrete recently poured on that property. You know, that the property owners at this point understanding is they have no involvement. There's nothing going on with them. You know, we've heard that. We've heard the streets closed off. We saw some photos, and I'm sorry if if anybody took offense earlier today, but I did say I can't see any clear markings on those cars. The only thing I can see is a partial street sign. It did look like County Road 50, but there's just no way to tell. Like, you can't jump on those things until you really hear them. And
right.
And I tend to be more cautious about stuff like that, or this channel tends to be cautious about. We will, like, if we have a vetted source, we'll tell you that, and we have during this case for certain things, but not for this particular situation.
Right. So, I believe we do have an address. I sent some pictures to my computer that I can show that I believe is the area that's being searched. Maybe the chat can confirm for me before I put the pictures up. Just that these are just Google images. I have an address of 7193 County Road 105.
They're saying there's 2 locations.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because I had saw a different location before.
Right.
Mackenzie, Christy, you live there? How close are you? You just heard a neighbor say that the site is her friend's house and law enforcement contacted her for a search. Okay.
Yes, we did see, if it's Debbie, we did see one is tinted and glowing ember. Yes, I do believe we will see more cases like this because everybody's shut in together. That's a very good point. I think we're going to talk about some of those things maybe at another time.
Thank you, Amanda. She confirmed the address. So I'll share. These are just Google images, you guys. They're nothing. I'm not showing the search area or the photos with the law enforcement presence and all that yet because I don't have them sent to my computer. So as soon as I can get them sent to my computer, I can show those. But I'll just give you an idea of where she's at or where they're searching at right now. One of the areas that we know for sure is being searched. Let me just get it open.
Sure. While you're doing that, I just have a question. JD, what are you saying? You both jumped ship. You don't understand. Robin, if you can make some calls and True Helper is making some calls, that would be awesome. Anything that we can get helps. Lisa Lasconia, it's your first time on WTAF. Welcome. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances. Yeah, Danette, it is on some private property he was doing work on, yes.
Who jumped ship?
JD made a post saying, "Hi at Kelly the Advocate. We have both jumped ship. Wish we knew what was going on." And I tried to scroll back. I couldn't get the context of what that was. So, and I'm nosy. So I asked.
I'm nosy too. That's why we're here, right?
Allie J. Yes, this is nuts. And yes, the Debbie and Debbie Sticks, or DB and Debbie, found under concrete. That's what we're hearing. Oh, JD, you were both on another channel. Okay. All right. I getcha. Hybrid Pisces. Thanks. Dudes, I just opened up and see you. Yeah, I get it. We do have rules. So if you didn't read at the top, if you're new here, we don't mention other creators. We don't bash other creators. It's just our policy. We try to stay kind to everybody. We're a community and we want it to be a good one. So we're doing our part.
Yeah, most importantly, we're here to discuss cases. Not other channels, other Facebook groups, because all of that, everyone has a right to do their own thing.
Well, and it takes away from the victims that we're trying to.
It does.
Honor and support the families and or support law enforcement. Just it's just a distraction, and it never. It's not productive most of the time. So, yeah.
Mackenzie Christie, we're looking at Google Earth because we're not there. I mean, if you would like to come on and speak with us, you're more than welcome to. I can drop you a link to come on and speak. You said you live down the street. So, if you want to come on and talk or even show us some video from down the street, you're more than welcome to. Just let me know and I will drop you a link to come on here.
Or you can email or message as well. So
yes, you have the ability.
Message us via the Facebook page or Wicked Truths with an S on the end at WTAF.net. Genetic Code, welcome. I'm glad you finally caught alive.
So Brittany Lee says, you heard the neighbor reported her missing. Is this correct? If so, why didn't the husband? From our understanding, this is what we've came up with this week. Barry and Suzanne's daughters were out of town. They were away in Idaho and they were going to be away they had been away for like a week and they were going to be away a couple more weeks. One of the daughters had been trying to get a hold of Suzanne on Mother's Day and couldn't get a hold of her and reached out to the neighbor and asked the neighbor to check on her mom. And then here we are today.
Right.
That's the gist of it. Barry was allegedly out of town. I saw some conflicting things about that, and it's very interesting, and I'm not throwing shade his way in any way because I don't know. We don't know. We're outsiders looking in. This has been a hard case to get information on. Mm-hmm. It's been very hard. So I was reading comments earlier about how I believe a fellow volunteer firefighter friend of Barry's spoke in a Crime Online article regarding Barry being out of town for firefighter training and said that was not accurate. There was no training going on because of COVID. Mm-hmm. I probably shouldn't have just said this word on YouTube, but oh well. So there's some discrepancies as to where Barry was at, but we do know he was out of town. We don't really know what he was doing out of town. Right.
And supposedly in Denver, correct?
Correct. Supposedly in Denver, which is about 150 miles away from where the Morphews live.
Right.
And yeah, Janine, I agree. You said you apologize for jumping the gun, but when you hear something like this and that a body has been found in such a small town, 25 miles from her, it's suspicious. It is. It absolutely is. I think Amy and I I know we have our own thoughts. We're just not going there yet. We're not going to be the ones to officially say, hey, this is what's going on, because we don't know. We like facts in front of us when it comes to something like this.
So they are saying, so just so you guys understand, most of you probably know, there are some standards on social media for not mentioning certain words. So we're going to, should we do what we do in other groups and say the Mexican beer?
Yeah.
Okay. So they want to know why the daughters were out camping when we're in the middle of the Mexican beer in isolation. And, we don't really have an answer for that. I know campgrounds in Ohio, I'm pretty sure I saw yesterday that they opened again on May 8th, but they didn't necessarily,
in Ohio?
I'm sorry, in Idaho.
Okay.
But I will say this, we know, looking into the family, as most of you probably have too, that they are very religious and they might have been doing some sort of religious retreat or missionary work or something, like, I don't know. I don't know why. But maybe we can kind of start from the beginning and talk about the first day we heard from the sheriff and some of the things that Danielle and I noticed and caught, and maybe, I don't want to say the word triggered, but like piqued our interests.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the first things is when he was speaking, he said Suzanne went missing on the 10th, and he was like, no, reported missing on the 10th. He corrected himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we later heard like they were collecting the surveillance, or they were asking people to preserve their surveillance camera recordings from the 8th to the 10th, correct?
Correct. She was reported missing on the 10th, but law enforcement started asking for surveillance footage dating back to the 8th, which would have been the Friday that Mr. Morphew left to go out of town.
Right.
Another thing that's interesting is that the Morphew's home surveillance system had stopped working 4 days prior to Suzanne's disappearance.
Correct. So, and you mentioned that there was no physical description, height and weight of her.
There was not. There was never a physical description given of her. There was no height, weight, eye color, hair color.
No.
What she could possibly be wearing.
Except there was extreme emphasis on the green helmet.
Right.
I mean, they made it a point. Look, I'd be on the lookout for this.
Right.
Right. Which was interesting because you don't know what she was wearing. You don't feel the need to tell the public her height and weight. By the way, she has the same birthday as me. And she was born April 30th, not the same year, but she was born April 30th, 1971. They just didn't tell us any of these things, but emphasize that helmet. And then we see Trevor Knoll, a nephew, come on the scene as the spokesperson for the family. And then the day that Barry releases his Facebook interview, or not interview, statement, is that what you would call it, plea? Trevor's off the radar. That's the last you ever see on that page or hear from him. It's all very strange and confusing.
It is. It's very strange and confusing. And, I have a feeling we're going to be on this live for a while because this case is still unfolding. We are on Eastern time right now in Colorado. It's only 2:40 or 2:50 p.m. So it's going to be a while before we hear anything today. But we're here and we're going to discuss it. So
right. Amanda's saying they were looking for video from the May 8th through May 12th.
Yes.
Okay. So I was incorrect when I said 8 to the 10th, and I apologize. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, I think what's very interesting about that is they're looking for video from the 8th, and that is 2 days prior to when she was reported missing.
Right.
That does, I mean, that kind of sends off like kinky meters. But I've been, I think I've even said it to a few of you down in the chat that I talked to personally. Madame Deficit, I told you, like, I just don't know. I've been kind of just sitting back on this case and watching. I think a lot of you watched our coverage of the Gannon case, and there were things that I could just not ignore within my soul that I felt when it came to that case. I covered it a little bit differently. We covered it a little bit differently. This case has just been, it's a little, I don't know. You just don't know what to think.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about Gannon for so long, and the way that information was delivered and whatever. I almost feel like the way this is going, we're almost back with Heidi Broussard, where there's just little things everywhere. We don't have a lot of facts. Nothing's really making sense. You can only pick up on what people are doing. So, like, for instance, like the nephew that was so vocal is now gone, and you had mentioned today that the is this a correct term? The beneficiary of the GoFundMe has been changed to Shirley Morphew, which is great.
I think that was yesterday we found that out, and I don't know. I think it was Christina who found that and shared that with us. Barry's mother was changed to the beneficiary on the GoFundMe. And I kind of do want to talk about that for a moment. And I'm not trying to throw shade in any way whatsoever. But this family is financially stable.
Mm-hmm.
By all accounts, they are okay financially. They still own that home in Indiana. We went back and forth on that, but I think the last thing we found is that they still own it, according to tax records. Unless you found something different, Amy.
I'm still ambiguous about that.
Okay, so you're still unsure about that. It's kind of difficult because different sites say one thing and another site says something else.
Exactly.
However, when you look at their Colorado home, it's a very expensive home. I don't think that there's a lack of financial support there.
No.
So then why a GoFundMe? I don't know.
I have no idea. And unless there were other family members, the only thing I can think of is that there were other family members that were more involved in searching on their own and felt that they might need resources to do that. That is the only thing I can come up with. But
right.
I think, well, I don't think, I know my opinion. In a lot of these cases, I take issue with GoFundMes. It is what it is. I take issue with them quite a bit. So I'll just leave it at that. I always find
that's a good point, Peggy. Should Barry be involved in this? We don't know that he is yet officially. His funds would be frozen during the investigation process. That was kind of a thought running through my head. So is that what that GoFundMe is for?
Maybe.
I mean, is that a way to have the public donate to his defense?
Maybe.
That's just a thought. I'm not saying that's true. It's just something that I've considered in my head. Like, all right, it's a little sketchy to me, but
well, I'll say that. I mean, this is something I can tell you. We've looked into who they do business with, some of their partners in different entities, look through and who they socialize with. They're very, I don't want to say connected because that sounds organized crime and mafia-esque. They're very networked. Right. Most of their friends are in the same, financial situation that they are in. I don't feel, if you have a friend that can match your $100,000, that speaks volumes right there. So the whole GoFundMe thing is a little weird. I don't know this for a fact, but I've heard the residence they're staying in, or Barry is staying in, I'll say is for right now. Some people were referring to it as an Airbnb, but my understanding is that it is used for that, but it's a house of a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think they're really charging them right now.
Glowing Ember, that's a good point. When the nephew stated that the GoFundMe was for volunteers to help search, but law enforcement wasn't using volunteers, it didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And you have to wonder, So if you're willing to put up $100,000 reward, why wouldn't you be willing to offer money for search?
Right. And Robin Lane, I'm going to read your comment, but it's easy to put that offer out there when you know you'll never have to pay it, referring to the $100,000. And yeah, we had said that the day we heard that too.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a poker face, calling someone's bluff. But I'd like to think that that was sincere and honest.
Yeah, I hope that was sincere and honest. I have a bad feeling about what's going to transpire through the rest of this day. It's hard to actually come on here and filter myself,
right,
and not say what I want to say or say what I think, because that's not fair to do in this case, because so little is known. Brittany Lee, one of the daughters, is 16. Do you know how old the other one is, Amy?
I believe she's 19. I believe she's just shy of 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Macy and Mallory.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Poppy's in Normandy. He would have a lot to lose in a divorce if she could prove he had a girlfriend. A lot of you guys are saying that she was asking for a divorce. I don't know anything about that. I can't comment on that because she shut down her Facebook page, 3 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. She's not here to speak for herself. Her family hasn't said anything about that, but it's a possibility that happens. Suzanne, from my understanding, even though it would be marital assets at this point, or not assets, but it would, it would be shared depending on what Colorado law is, I guess. I shouldn't speak out of not knowing that, but she's inherited money as well. So it's not just.
Yeah, we actually did some digging on that. Her family was well off. There was some inheritance from a grandmother, I believe.
And her mother.
And her parents owned businesses in Indiana that, upon their death, would have went to Suzanne and any siblings. What's interesting to me is that nonprofit.
Yes. Before we start talking about that, can we just, they're talking about the husband's plea, and while it's up there, what did you think about when he was, because let me just recognize this person. Matt Darwin said the husband's plea, honest, body language said his head shaking no while his mouth saying opposite. Yeah. So I noticed that too. I'd listened to a couple people that had analyzed his body language, that every time he said, "We want you back," his brow didn't raise. And I had to sit there in a mirror and watch myself try to say that without. You have to be very tense not to have that. That plea to me felt very contrived. That's my personal opinion. It felt overproduced, and it felt very contrived. Do you have any opinions on it, or do you want to just stay? Because I 100%.
Oh, well, I have opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It looked fake.
Well, spill, sister.
It looked fake. I mean, it was very, I didn't feel the emotion coming from him that he was trying to convey. But then I was like, okay, he's going through a difficult time. And we all know that when I covered the Shane Carey case, those videos aren't up anymore. But I was, very.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Half-Assed Haiku says he can't move his forehead because of Botox.
It could be Botox. It could be. I mean, let's be real. If I had that kind of money, guys, I'd be getting Botox. I would. I got some lines on my forehead. I'm getting old.
Stop it.
Well, I'm just saying.
You just stick a little rubber cement in there and you're good.
Let's see. Oh.
So I interrupted you and I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm still trying to at this moment. Right now, while there is a search going on for Suzanne, I am still trying to give this man the benefit of the doubt because I don't know. I know what I thought about the interview. I know that I've been very torn all week. And yeah, Glowing Ember, I don't think he had Botox on his forehead. He had some pretty deep wrinkles. You're correct.
And as far as I know, the polygraph is hearsay, yes. There was talk about him taking 2 polygraphs.
Oh, we actually shared that in our group. We did because we had a local, an inside source, pretty much, who was, I can't go into too much detail, but had some legal connections. And this is what was said to us earlier this week. Let me find it while I scroll through the Facebook group.
Sure. While you're doing that, I will tell you guys, Matt said, I watched this video 10 times and each time I saw something shady. I'll tell you a little trick that Danielle or not trick, but just something that we did during the Heidi Broussard case when everybody was critiquing Shane Carey's interview. We listened to it and didn't watch it. And I actually did that with Barry's interview. And it didn't change my opinion of the authenticity of his emotion. I looking at him, of course, you see gestures, you see head movement, you see tight shoulders, you see puffed out posturing kind of chest, and then he tries to slump his shoulders to look humble. But when I didn't have to look at it anymore and I just heard the audio, it didn't change my opinion one bit. Right.
Yeah, that was something that we did with Shane Carey. I cut the audio out of the video and just posted the audio, and you got a totally different impression because Shane Carey was that whole interview itself was ridiculous. They had cameras and a phone in front of him and him being directed this way and that way. And it was a very uncomfortable situation for Shane. I probably would have acted the same way that Shane did. He wasn't comfortable. And
no. And he verbally expressed that.
He did. He said, this
is awkward.
This just doesn't feel right.
Natural.
Right. Yeah. So the information that was given to us Tuesday, one of our amazing team members was able to speak with somebody and obtain this information, and this is what was told to us. So we posted this. We have a legal contact close to this case. These are the things noted at this time. Allegedly, Barry's truck was confiscated by police on Friday the 15th. Number 2 was allegedly Barry had taken 2 polygraphs. Number 3, the family, including family from Indiana, is staying in an Airbnb in the area because they haven't been able to be at the house. We've since found out the house was confiscated or, sealed off by police. This person also went on to tell us that there would be an arrest warrant issued, and actually told us who was going to issue that arrest warrant. Amanda's commenting about this down there. So our local source is in the legal field in Chaffee County. Is that how you guys say it? Chaffee. Okay. Also knows that Suzanne was going to be divorcing Barry and infidelity was an issue in the marriage. And then a Maysville contact had said that the FBI and lots of ATF and others had camped out at the Morphew's home. And I was thinking about this. People were wondering about the ATF. Is True Helper down there? Hey. If I haven't said hi to you guys, hi to everybody. You know, I love you all. Just trying to focus on the discussion right now. So hi to everybody in the chat. I was thinking this last night when I couldn't sleep. Like, I wonder if the ATF was there because the ATF is actually the, I don't want to say source, I don't know, entity, agency that performs testing on weapons. They do ballistics on weapons. So it's just my thought, my speculation that maybe the ATF was there seizing the weapons to do testing on them to see if there had been any recently fired and all of that good stuff. So,
well, there's also the possibility that, because we know that Barry had a concealed carry license, right?
Yes.
So perhaps in the search of the home, we don't know what they knew. We're not saying they knew anything or whatever, but combined with somebody that is a hunter, an avid hunter, by the way. He has a concealed carry permit. They know he owns guns, and he is a firefighter, that maybe there was some concern about what might be in the home.
Yeah. I think that they do have to have grounds, though, to just come into the home. Stacy, you used to be Little Texas Tornado. Stacy, Little Texas Tornado, made a good point that the ATF does use dogs in order to sniff out gunpowder, and they do. They do. I saw that happen within the Missy Beavers case. So,
I'm just, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, I don't disagree with you at all, but one of the thoughts that I had, and I'm sorry if it sounds far-fetched, but in a situation like this, and I don't think Barry is a family annihilator or anything like that, but I wonder if there was concern that the house was somehow rigged up or whatever. Just the combination of the weapons and his job. And whether that, that would be a reason. And yeah, the FBI could call in the ATF too. They could request. So
Stacy was Little Texas Tornado. The cameras actually did work in the Missy Beavers case.
Yeah, we've seen the gate.
What happened in that case is where Missy was murdered within the church is the camera angle missed that. Or maybe they did it and the cops have just not told us that. I mean, she was murdered in 2016, so it's been 4 years and that's still not solved. Holly Love is saying he went into her office and found divorce papers as he had been cheating many times and was abusive. I feel like everything will come out with the daughters when it goes to trial because Barry will. Now, is that just your speculation or is that fact that you've obtained somewhere?
JD King, CBI came to him requesting footage from all angles 8 to 12, very early in the investigation. That's probably when we found out that the cameras hadn't been working for several days, I would say. And Melinda just said the same thing. Holly Love, if you have information and you want to email, it is Wicked Truths with an S on the end at WTAF.net, or you can also message via the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say if your wife disappears and your cameras coincidentally weren't working before that, that would be a concern of law enforcement. Yes.
I have a hard time with those cameras not working.
Yeah.
That is a huge red flag to me, especially when you're in a house that's
a big isolated house.
How much is that house worth? Like $2.5 million or something?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a gorgeous house. It's huge. It's a mansion, basically. And if you have a house like that with property like that in such a rural area and your cameras stop working, you're going to fix them.
Right. Right. And if you can't fix those, you go out and you get like a Ring cam or something. These people are not without financial resources. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you, even if you can't get those cameras right away, you figure out something, because you just can't be in remote areas without that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
Yes. Hybrid huge red flag.
JD said, why was everyone not there at the house when Suzanne going missing? Okay, so we discussed this a little bit ago. Suzanne's daughters had been away for a week at the time. They were on some type of camping trip in Idaho, and they were going to be gone a couple more weeks. As far as Barry, the story is that he was out of town working 150 miles away in Denver. That's the story. I don't know. Sorry, you can hear dirt bikes in the background at my house, but
that's what that was.
Definitely dirt bikes.
Oh, okay. So Holly Love, you're a card reader. Okay. So, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, are you in our Facebook group, Holly Love? Feel free to join.
Going Emperor. You guys are funny.
You were relieved to know those were dirt bikes. Yep. Definitely dirt bikes. The sun's shining here. My little boy is upset that he's not on his dirt bike because he broke his brake handle again yesterday. This is the fourth one I've ordered.
Okay, so. Nikki Miller is saying Barry arrested. Where are you seeing that? I'm not doubting you. I just want to know if you've seen it somewhere officially.
Somebody else just said body located under a recently poured pool. All right, let's see what I can find. Let me go look.
Okay. True Helper, did you have any input on why ATF would be there? I don't think I saw. Okay, so there, you guys, be careful with other creators, please and thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we're not.
Really, we just don't like to mention other creators on our channel. It's nothing personal. You're okay. We're not mad at you. Just don't do it again. Okay, so Chastity said, I've heard this too, but I can't find anything. Like 4 people are saying it. Okay, guys, one more time. Please don't mention other channels on this page. Okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna get those comments out of there.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. I'm trying to do 10 things at once here on my phone. I think I just texted you, Amy. And let me get into the YouTube account on my phone.
Okay. All right. It's okay. Listen, Bim, it's okay. Some people join later. It's just a rule we have on this channel, and so it's okay. Okay. I am going to step away for a second in a minute to go check my texts. But Going Amber, I did ask where they heard it, to be fair. And you're right. And I'm not upset. It's okay. You could just say another channel, and that's fine. That's fine. That would be sufficient. Yay, Holly Love just joined the group. Yeah, awesome. we don't want to make those announcements if we don't know that they've been stated officially, or if we can find a booking or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Did one of the mods get those comments? I'm not seeing them. So.
I got one, and the other one was gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So.
All right. I'm gonna close my chat for a second. Oh, you probably heard that. So go and take a look at what we got going on here.
Hey, Wenda Lee, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Crazy Sexy Hair.
That's a great name.
It is.
I wish I had crazy, sexy, great hair, whatever it is.
Marmite Pickle, what's the news? Right now, there's just lots of speculation. Law enforcement.
Lots of rumors.
Yes. Lots of people talking, but nothing official from law enforcement. There's a search underway right now in regards to Suzanne at a property. I think it's about 25 minutes away from her home.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all the facts that we know at the moment from official sources. There's, a couple friends who have made comments. There's some locals who have made comments. And I'm not discounting what they have said in any way, shape, or form. I just...
Stacy says she's never moving to Colorado with anyone. She knows that for sure. Oh, it's a twin thing. Being a cancer survivor, knowing she went through hell and back twice just to be taken out by her husband potentially is disgusting. Yeah. That's important too, because my understanding is that she has been dealing with that since 2013. And she had just about 3 months ago, maybe, was it 3 months ago, been cleared.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if that's a factor or not, but I had seen some posts with family and friends saying, oh, it's so good that Suzanne is feeling up to doing these things. It's so good that Suzanne is out of the house again. But of course, Suzanne wasn't using social media. So, Robin Lane, why are you just so happy for Florida? Because we usually have it here. Oh my goodness. How do people think they'll actually get away with this stuff in this day and age? That's $1 million question. I really don't know.
Please ignore any background noise, guys.
You're fine. Maui Girl says, when the sheriff spoke at the press conference and said he hoped Barry was going to continue to cooperate, it was definitely a red flag. There were a lot of red flags during that press conference. I agree. And that was a big one. Yeah. Okay. AM.
You live in Colorado. It's the weed. That's funny.
Okay, for those of you that are just joining us, we are just coming together to talk about some of the rumors that are going around, some of the speculation. The only thing on this channel that we can confirm is that they are searching a property about 25 minutes from the Morphew home, and the CBI and law enforcement have said that they will not make a statement until after that search is concluded. It is a search in the case of Suzanne Morphew, but other than that, we don't have anything confirm, concrete, no pun intended, sorry about that, or verified. Genetic code says, would murderous pothead not be considered an oxymoron? Oh, you guys.
There has been statements given to local reporters. The county sheriff's office has added that the area they are searching is a residential property. The property owner is fully cooperative and is not connected to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance, the sheriff's office says. They have also made it very clear no updates will be made while the search is still in progress. They do not know how long the search will take. And then they also confirmed another outdoor search in regards to the Suzanne Morphew case. Won't comment until after the search is over. I'm going to get some pictures up on the screen. Just got to give me a minute. I got to send them to my computer from my phone. And
so we are going to talk about the non-for-profit. I don't know how to say your name, Kataraj. And you're stating that her nonprofit was set up fairly recently. Is it possible she was tying up her money so nobody would be able to get it? Okay, so first and foremost, her nonprofit wasn't set up recently. It was active in Indiana when they lived there, and it was recently transferred to the state of Colorado. So that's one. And two, if she wanted to use that money for herself and was trying to tie up her money, she could not do that by way of a non-for-profit. But there are some interesting things with that, and we will be discussing that, because that is something that we spent. There was a night where Danielle and I started talking maybe on the phone at 1:00 in the morning and didn't get off until 4:45 or something like that, digging through all of that. So yeah, her youngest daughter does, it seems, live with her boyfriend, which is interesting. Does not live in the house. So a lot of you are saying that maybe the reason the children weren't in the house at the time was because Suzanne was going to talk to Barry and she didn't want them around, and that's definitely a possibility. Definitely. Half-assed haiku. What if nephew began to GoFundMe because he suspected Uncle Barry all along? It's very, very possible. And yes, Going Ember, we are night owls. Our circadian rhythm is just not good with what the rest of the world expects as far as like when we're supposed to be awake. This is this is probably about the time we start functioning, I would say. So it's difficult to live in your world. I'm sorry.
that's highly accurate. Yeah, this is like lunchtime here.
Seriously, I do my best thinking like right after midnight. That's when it starts. That's when my head, like my focus is there and everything else. I see a couple of other, you agree, working on my gains. Your club, Amy and Danielle and Amy, WTAF. Was the nephew Barry's or Suzanne's? Maui girl, Trevor Knoll is Suzanne's nephew.
Is he?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought he was Barry's.
Mm-mm.
Huh. Look, you guys, I learned something new every day.
I don't believe so. Now you're making me question myself. I was, he did change the person to Shirley Morphew, but I believed that he was Suzanne's side of the family.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was.
Nope, you're right. Okay, you're right.
Barry.
Yep, they're saying it's Barry's sister's child. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I am wrong. I'm wrong a lot, by the way. I'm human. No.
Okay, I swear I'm getting pictures up. Don't mind my little boy in the back making an ice cream cone. I'm sure you can hear
that. So, Trevor, yeah. Okay. You know why I think that I thought that he was so impassioned about Aunt Suzanne, and for some reason, I just made that connection. I have to write things down, and because we kind of did this the last minute, I don't have things in front of me like I need to.
Yes, we did this spur of the moment, so I'm going to throw some pictures up here on the screen. We're just on here to chit chat with you guys and see how this unfolds. If you notice, we haven't been on this week about this case. We kept saying we were going to come on, but I don't think we really knew what to come on here and cover because there's so.
I think every time we thought we had what we needed to talk about in the direction we wanted to go, something changed, something shifted, and it was like, okay, well,
right.
Let's just wait, and then if you're in our Facebook groups, you will, especially this one right now, we have two very active ones right now. I mean, Gannon is active too, but between this one and Maddie Bell, there's just been a lot of information and rumors and things like that, but not a lot of fact. And it's been confusing to be able to decipher or determine what you can go on record saying and what you can't, because when you make a list of the facts, there aren't a lot of them. We can go on here and we can tell you that, Barry and Suzanne met in high school, and Barry and Suzanne, here's their engagement announcement, and she was a school teacher and he went to Purdue, and we could go on and on about that stuff, but that's not really the case, and so and if that's the kind of stuff you guys want to hear, you need to tell us. But we just felt like, I think every time we were ready, it was something else happened.
Right. Okay, so this is the search location. You can see there are numerous vehicles lined up there. Numerous. And somebody actually pointed this out right here. Trying to figure out what that was. I don't know if I can zoom in any further. No, that's about it.
Oh, the little white space in front of the car?
Yeah. I know what I think it looks like. I'm not going to say it, but.
Right.
That's a heavy police presence, guys. That's a lot. That's just. Let's see what the other picture I have is.
Well, you don't even know what's outside that frame.
Right. Let's see if I can get this one. And you can also see that thing right there again. See it?
And then you see the tarp.
And then here's the tent. So. Yeah. A lot of those vehicles look like unmarked vehicles as well.
They do. They look like some of them look like they might have some gold writing or a glare, but you can't make anything out.
Right. I can see one, but yeah.
Right. So I know there was some frustration earlier today with people saying it's happening and this and that. And our team saying, we're watching too, but we can't. You just have to understand that, when we don't know where pictures come from and things like that, it gets difficult. So Elysian Field says there's lots of media heading to that area. I bet there are.
This is just some Google images that I.
BC, the false alarm about the animal was last night.
This is the address and just some.
And Lane says everywhere, everybody's saying the body's being recovered, the spouse arrested, plus others arrested. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't heard it from law enforcement. I haven't seen a booking photo. There hasn't been a presser. So,
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't doubt that it's true.
I don't doubt it either.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it's true. I just don't feel comfortable confirming something before law enforcement has. I know there was a local down there in the comments if she wanted to. So she lives right by here. I don't know if she wants to come on here and talk to us. She's more than welcome to.
Kimberly M says, I also heard they had 2 others helped and being arrested.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds very. Okay, I'll just say it like I don't doubt that it's true. I don't. It's just that it can't come out of my mouth that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks, Going Ember. That's good to know.
Yeah, I'm away from the chat. Let me look at what Going Ember said.
Oh, they're saying his lover has been taken into custody.
Does anybody have a name? A name for this alleged girlfriend, mistress?
As we've heard a couple. Crazy sexy hair, isn't it? Information spreads like wildfire. Yeah, Scarlett, I would say that if he did it, and if he is responsible for disabling those cameras, then yes, that would show signs of premeditation, I would say.
Hey, Soul for Music.
Oh, Tess Steckel. This reminds me of Fotis Doulos.
I said that last night. Oh my gosh.
She did say that last night.
I did. I said that in our private chat. I'm like, I'm getting Doulos vibes here. That's what I'm looking.
Very much so.
Working on my game. Just said Barry is such a coward, dragging others into this to help him. Those who helped him are guilty of that, but it's cowardly of him. I totally see where you're coming from. I totally see it. I don't think we know that he drug anybody in to help him. They could have, if there's other people involved, they could have been very willing participants.
Right.
So the names, interesting. My World Aubrey. Interesting. I'm not gonna say those names, but thank you for sharing them.
I didn't even get to see them. Oh, okay.
Okay, Amanda, I just saw your message. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are being told, though, that the coroner van is there.
Right.
So, oh, guys.
Melissa, you just Googled. Yeah, nothing came up. That's kind of how it's been. It's just been difficult to confirm things. My World Aubrey. She shared the missing flyer poster and tagged somebody in it, and people are flipping out.
What?
Well, I don't want to say the alleged girlfriend's name. I just... Amanda is the voice of reason. We really don't know Barry is even involved right now. A lot of speculation out there. There are red flags for sure. Yes. It was stated very well. Yeah, so let's talk about that Carrie's 3-ring circus. 2 things about what you just said, and I'll read your statement. For them to have that house locked down for so long and no huge search parties, it seems bad. You know, one of the things that I've noticed is that on social media, or through sources, you'd hear the house is locked down, and people were trying to confirm it. And then the press would come out and say, there's a presence there, but it's just cordoned off. Or there's been a lot of ambiguity between law enforcement and the press, almost like they're actually working in tandem right now, which makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. And then the second part, no huge search parties, but can you imagine the size of that house and how long it would take to process? It was a huge house. Kathy Suter. They moved to Orlando, Colorado 2 years ago from Indiana. Does anyone know why? Work or personal? I don't. Do you, Danielle? Do you know?
I do not.
Yeah.
I do not know. I thought it was interesting that so the nonprofit organization was originally based out of Indiana, and while it was in Indiana, Suzanne was on it. And it's very unheard of, actually, to move a nonprofit. When you move, you don't really have to do that. But the nonprofit was moved to Colorado, and the nonprofit is named after her, but in Colorado, it's only in his name, which was interesting to me. I didn't understand why it would only be in his name when it was her nonprofit, and in Indiana, it was in her name. So,
right, but they still have other people on the actual charter, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Didn't we find like 5 people, including Barry and Suzanne? Yeah. And one of them cannot be found anywhere. It's a very, I mean, from what it appears to be, that non-for-profit has not had more than $1,000 in it. It's supposedly a Christian fund. They have no website. They have there's no media presence. It's like it's just laid there dormant. And
it says all profits will be donated to, what did it say, Amy? All profits will be donated to charity.
To children.
I think it said charity. To charities. I can go back and look.
Well, I will tell you that, or you guys, that there's 5 names on that. There's Barry and Suzanne. Then there's a Stephen Dolvin who has a doctorate in finance. He's written books about creative investing. He's an odd person to have on this thing at this level, like for a very, very small non-for-profit. There's a Joseph Noose, NUCE, who's back in Indiana as well. The Stephen Dolvin's back there. He's a journeyman. He's a tradesman. He's in his 30s. And then there's a 4th one who's, depending on what documents you looked at, the name is spelled differently every single time. It's either Marcy Y or Macy Y or Malakian or Malaxilin. And there's nobody that comes up under that name anywhere as far as I can find.
There's a live stream right now on Fox 31. Stacy was Little Texas Tornado. It seems like I read it was closed out before they moved to Colorado unless she started it back up. It is active in Colorado. I have it in front of me right now. And the nonprofit says profits will be donated to a charity of choice. Checking messages right now, Amanda. Let's see. Okay, so let's see how we can get Fox 31 up on here. I don't know if we can or not. Might be able to just play it over the speaker and we can listen if you guys want.
That works.
Okay, let's listen.
Let's do that. It's the easiest way to do it.
Oh, it's just video. They're digging. Oh, FBI evidence response team. Let me get some pictures for you guys. I have to mute my mic for 1 second.
No problem. No problem. I need to get back to the chat. You guys, I'm sorry. I can't see what you're doing because I went out to look at a message.
Okay, so let me see if I can get, I'm going to try to get this live stream pulled up here, guys.
Sure.
Just give me 1 moment.
Sure.
Maybe I'll share my screen.
Okay, Boomer says nothing says creative investment like having a nonprofit organization. I agree. Stacey Durham says money laundering. That's where my mind went. I'm not going to even deny it. That was the biggest red flag when this started was that non-for-profit. Yay, Car Guy says he just approved a bunch of messages to join the group. I encourage you all to join the Facebook group. Do a lot of discussing in there. The BC says they're digging up something on Fox 31 right now, and Danielle is digging up the link so that we can watch that. Yeah, Kathy Suter, I can't even imagine how her daughters must be processing this. It's
I'll have heartbreaking. The live video up here shortly.
Wow. Kathy Suter, yes.
Oh, they're definitely digging.
Susanna is a cancer survivor. Yes. Well, Jacqueline Murray, welcome from Scotland. We love having you here. Okay, Robin Lane, where are you getting the 1.57 million? Because that's not what the reports filed state. I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'd just like to know. Okay. I need to send a message really quick.
Hey,
yes,
Amy.
love.
I'm going to leave the stream for just a moment so I can get this live stream pulled up on here. So I'll be right back, guys.
I need to send, that's okay. I need to step away not away. You guys, I'm out of the chat for just a second. And I will be right back. Let me send a quick message. And I'm coming right back. Get right back in here. I'm so sorry for doing that. So sorry. Oh, Carrie's 3-Ring Circus says, I hope that the daughters don't feel guilty for not being at home with mom. I hope so too. And, all I can say is, this is not your fault. This is not your fault. And I hope somebody, if this is the outcome that we think it's going to be, that somebody, they get some help to understand that, because we don't want them living with that. And B, maybe, no, I'm not reading that. Marmite Pickle. I thought the girls had asked the neighbor to check on their mom as they couldn't get a hold of her. That's what our understanding is. That one of the girls that tried to call on Mother's Day could not get a hold of her mother, called a neighbor and asked the neighbor, sorry, stumbling over my own tongue here, neighbor to check on their mom, and that's how all of this started. So, yay. Thank you for bearing with me here. Oh no, True Helper, what's a broken link? Elysian Fields are not saying anything on the live. Are they just showing visual? Are they just showing the digging? So Carrie's Three Ring Circus. How did they hear about a bike ride? That all came from the neighbor. So apparently, this is what I understand, y'all. And the neighbor witnessed Suzanne going on a bike ride at some point, and then the girls called, and then the neighbor checked on Suzanne, and the neighbor walked down. There's a bike trail that is kind of off of their property, and some ways down, the bike was discovered potentially with the brakes locked, and 911 was called. So that is my understanding.
Okay,
Tracy,
I'm back.
Yay.
Can you hear me okay? Because I do not have headphones plugged in order to play this video.
I do hear you just fine. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Actually, you're louder.
Am I?
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to have to do this. I had to stop sharing because I did not share the audio.
Jacqueline Murray, people keep asking about how they went on the camp out if they were on lockdown. I don't know, but they did go on a camping trip. Yeah, April Dawn, we don't need the daughters, shouldering that guilt. That's not their burden to bear. We're hearing a lot of things that I can read what you guys are saying. There are people saying that she was shut in the basement of the house. I don't know how anybody would know that right now. I'm not saying it's not true, but there is a lot of rumors and speculation swirling around right now, and I will say that a lot of it is probably going to come out. Sparta says they're sifting through like they did with Gannon's case. Interesting. Oh, Robin Lane. Okay, when I was asking you about the 1.575 million or whatever, I was asking you about that. I was talking about the non-for-profit, not the house. So, misunderstanding. But thank you for commenting so we could clear that up. It's appreciated. So Heather says there's buckets of dirts being poured into a shaker, like a sifter. Right. So yeah, some people are saying you can go camping. It may have not been in the national parks. So yeah. Right. Amanda just said what I had said when we opened. CBI, FBI, and local law enforcement will not make a statement until the search concludes. So, is there any snow now there, Amy? Well, I am not there, but I don't believe so. Stacy says maybe they're sifting, looking for bullet fragments. And April Dawn, no, when they're sifting, that's not a good sign. It's not. Working on my gains. We're not sure about that. There are some people that say that the white is the royal mailboxes, and then there's that other option. Yeah, Sparta, we saw that too. There are people posting that Barry and 2 other people have been arrested. We don't know if that's true either. It's very, very possible. I'm not gonna say it's not true. I just can't confirm it.
Yeah. So the video is not going to play from Facebook. Facebook and StreamYard do not.
Of course it won't.
Yeah,
Because we're on a live.
they don't work well together. It's stupid.
Oh.
So if you're in our Facebook group, I'm going to create a watch party in there.
Okay, 2 things. Tracy L, yes, I am on my back deck. You do not hear rain, you hear water. So that's what you hear. Like, I mean, I know rain's water, but like a waterfall. That's kind of what you hear. And going Ember, that's a really good point. It's so common to feel guilt when something bad happens to a loved one. We need to remember we're not in control of everything. Wow, I think we all need to remember that too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Sparta says, and people are also posting that they are digging at Barry's last job site, or that they are digging at. Yeah, yeah. April Dunn, I know. Rain is water. I get it. It's we have like one of those waterfalls that goes into our pool. That's what you hear. I didn't know it was that loud. I'm sorry. Oh, people are asking why would they sift?
They're definitely sifting and pouring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's different reasons why they sift.
Do you have the capability to share your screen, Amy, or no?
Let me look.
Because it may just be my computer. If you can pull up the live video and share it.
Let me try. Let me see.
Thank you, True Helper. I'm getting your messages. I can't keep up. I'll send you a link to your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a very close shot of the sifting, Kimberly.
Okay, so I'm on the mobile version, and there's no option to do that.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, what I could do, hold on. We could do this. You just sent me the link, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hold on.
Kids.
Huskies.
Yes, husky kids.
What I can do, this is what I have for you. I can turn on my camera and show it to you on another device.
Yeah, we can do that now until we can get it.
You want me to do that?
Yes.
All right, hold on 1 second.
I might be able to.
Right here.
Oh. Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
And then do I dig away or you just pan okay? Just find it in the first try? I was a little worried we were gonna. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you move it up just a little bit?
Really? Still from the spring?
Thank you.
All right.
It's,
yeah, okay.
It's at the window in the StreamYard is not that big. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I think I got it all in.
And per Phelan, I'm hearing we're pugs pans off. We have tight shots of the sifting and then file. Is that what you see in your queue?
Can you hear that? He's fixing his hair.
I love his math.
11, video 1. We're just confirming Phelan said pan off, tight shots of the sifting, and then file. How do you guys, bugs? I'm Greg Nieto. Crazy stuff. When you drive past, I keep hearing from people there's construction on that site, like house construction. Do you see that usually? Gotcha. Sounds like Erica. So again, I stay put. Gotcha. You want me to snap and then take a video? That help you? Okay. Stand by. Flag up right, Pugs. Yeah, Erica, as you mentioned, we're kind of in between Salida and Canyon City. We'll pan off here. Of course, we're being kept about a half a block away from this very active search. Again, we're closer to the intersection of County Road 105 and Van Devere Road. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation is confirming that there is an active search, again, about a half of a block down the road. Not confirming who they might be looking for at this point, but as we take a closer look, the active search does include plenty of sifting of dirt or through dirt underneath a white tent on this residential property. CBI adding that the property owner was cooperative and is not part of this investigation. Again, we are talking about 49-year-old Suzanne Morphew, missing almost 2 weeks now. The 49-year-old lives west of Salida. This search, as we speak, is east of Salida. She is from the nearby town or area of Maysville, Garfield. Again, the married mother of 2 went missing on Mother's Day. Initially had said that she might be heading out for a bike ride. Has not been heard from or seen since. So again, we have a Chaffee County Sheriff vehicles. I went to, at least I tried to get to the other side of this street to get any more of a closer look. We have about 12 vehicles total that are part of this search, which has really been going on or been underway for several hours now. To the naked eye, as we take a live look here, Pugs, if you're able to push into that white tent there, it looks like they brought out some more dirt or sediment to continue this search process. CBI, I should mention, Erica, has said they will not comment on the search itself any further until it is complete. We'll, of course, stay here and keep you updated on KWGN.com as we see another Chaffee County Sheriff vehicle pass us here. I will tell you, as we pass it back to you, that we have another crew that is closer to the Morphew house, and she tells me that there are 3 CSP vehicles on Highway 50 closer to County Road 240, some sort of law enforcement activity we believe to be related to what we're seeing behind us here. Again, Erica, we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn anything more. Live here just east of Chaffee County, Greg Nieto, Colorado's own Channel 2.
Okay, could you hear any of that?
I could hear it, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get another link up. I got to figure out how to get it to my computer.
I am going to... Do you want me to switch back to the...
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay, hold on.
Bear with us, guys.
Because what I need to do is go back to the chat, but I have to turn down my volume and everything first.
Yeah, you're fine.
If I could do that, turn this around, and then turn that off, do a test. I think we're all good. So, Glowing Ember, you heard some of it. They were talking about how they were sifting. And he also mentioned that there were additional vehicles out at the house at this time, too. So it's kind of all we know. Girl next door, why would they be sifting unless they think he may have burned her body? Well, they might not be sifting for her body. They might be sifting for additional evidence.
It looks like they excavated some stuff there, doesn't it?
It does. Very much so. Yeah. Danielle, I have to step away for a second. Is it a good time or?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's look at some comments. Stacy, it was Little Texas tornado. There was a bobcat behind the house and grill area also. Holly Love, I'm telling you, Barry will be arrested if not already. Some people are saying he's been arrested. Other people are saying he has not been arrested. So it's kind of... Yeah, that makes sense, my world, Aubrey. You said you're thinking she was buried where concrete was poured, then they would have to bust that concrete up. So I would think they would have to sift to make sure they don't miss any evidence. That's reasonable thinking. They had a smart home security system, so the camera footage would have been in cloud storage. That's interesting too. I'm going to try to get this link pulled up. I think there's still a couple live streams going on, so... Maybe, just maybe, this might work. Here it is. Don't think so. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I have the D&D on my phone, but my mother keeps calling and texting, and so I had to go use Chris's phone, and I said, Mom, I'm on a live. Is everything okay? Well, yes. What are you talking about? I said, Mom, I'm on a live. Suzanne Morphew. Well, I don't know who that is. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? I can't right now.
Tell her to come on our live. And
I said, I'll drop you a link. And she's like, I don't know how to use the YouTube in my car.
Aww.
Oh. Did I miss anything?
No, nope. I'm trying to figure out how to get this live player thing to work on Katie VR.com and decided I hate StreamYard. I hate it.
Going Ember, I did tell her to go to live, but she's driving. She's driving back to the coast, and she said, "I don't know how to listen to YouTube in my car," which she does, but.
Christina said Denver 7 says they confirmed Barry has not been arrested as of now. So
there you go. All right. I am going to, while we're doing this, I'm going to go grab my other laptops so that I can have like some access to some of this stuff that I don't, because I can't watch the chat and talk. I mean, I can't get off the chat, you know, and I can't get off the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
What's
So okay, so the alleged mistress, Stacy was Little Tornado, posted about Suzanne missing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying? And people are calling her a skank.
Oh, nice. They're calling her a skank?
I think that's the sheriff's vehicle just blocked the view of the sifting. Oh, boy.
Of course they did, because they were getting in there with some tight shots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can you guys hear that?
I can hear that.
You know, it's like everybody else. I think I share that.
No, I can't. It's gone away now.
It'll be back. Maybe.
Trying to get on here now. Let's see here.
We all feel badly for friends. I didn't know Suzanne. I didn't know Suzanne.
Oh, Danielle. All right, I'm gonna grab my. Was trying to get on another way, so Danielle has stepped away for a second. Let's see what is going on. Okay, so when you're talking about the mistresses, I don't have information on that. I mean, I know some of the names have been mentioned. I've looked them up. One of the names mentioned, the person does have dark hair. So Holly Love, if you're asking that, yes. Her picture's been posted a couple different places. Stacy was a little Texas tornado. I bet if not arrested, he is in custody. Well, sometimes that's, yeah, I gotcha. Kimberly M. How did they find out he had a mistress? Most likely through his phone and his activities and things like that, I would imagine. So, yeah, okay. If it was in your reading, a woman with dark hair, that's one of the people that has been mentioned. So the name Morgan is coming up when people are talking about a potential mistress. I don't feel comfortable about, I mean, I'll say the first name, but I don't know. So they keep telling what's all going on, but not saying arrested. Yeah. Well, I'm going to repeat kind of what we said before. The FBI, CBI, and local law enforcement has already said that they are not going to comment. They're not going to make a statement until the search has concluded. So, as long as they're out there digging, that the mistress has not been confirmed with the authorities. Maybe with other people, maybe with people close to the family, close to the case, but not from authorities. Marmite Pickle, I agree with you. People should not be calling her names. It's not been confirmed what the story is. And personally, I think it's unfair to label people when we don't know our circumstances. So, yeah, we don't know.
Well, guys, we have some watch parties going in the Facebook groups and on the main WTAF page. I started some watch parties for the live feeds. I cannot get them to cast to StreamYard from my computer. I probably need to get a new laptop. So just as a reminder, we don't discuss other creators here whatsoever. Do not drop their names. Do not say anything good. Do not say anything bad. This is focused on the missing case
This is about Suzanne.
of Suzanne. This isn't about other creators. We don't do that here for any of our lives. So,
Trapper says we can call him names. Oh, you're gentle.
I think we need to refrain from calling anybody names. That's just not a mature mentality.
Actually, for people that are in our Facebook groups, this might be a good time to address this verbally. You can discuss, you can disagree, even in the chat, you can discuss and disagree. But we will intervene when name calling.
Yeah.
That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it's just, it's not, I don't know. It's not healthy. I mean, I've 100% been honest of calling Letitia Stout names. I'll own that 100%.
Right, she's not sitting in front of you on the other side of the screen either. It's more personal when we're in chat or group and we're saying.
Right. And I just, I don't think it's fair to call Barry or his mistress or anybody names right now because we don't know.
Right, until they're a named person or a booked person, a charged person, even then. But yes, Kimberly M, we will drop the link to the Facebook group. We'd love to have you join. We would.
Yeah, we'll drop the link.
There you go. See, Amanda's
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
So, I guess what we can do, I don't know, you want to stay on here, Amy, and just keep following it, or
I think
maybe
we can kind of take a vote, but I would say maybe we should stop for now, regroup, and come back. If there's something else, we will come back for you guys. What do you think?
You guys let us know in the chat what you want us to do. I mean, if you want us to stay on here and keep covering it, we will, or we can take a break and come back when we know some more information. It's up to you guys.
Right.
Thank you.
So those of you that aren't in the Facebook group, go ahead and join that because we will definitely be in there. And then if we get some bombshell material, if we get, if there's going to be a presser, if anything like that, we will definitely come back.
Yeah, so why don't people are asking for a time. Do you want to plan on like 9 o'clock, Amy?
9 o'clock sounds perfect. It's a date.
So to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. I'm sorry, 8 p.m. if you're in the Central Time Zone. And we will be back then. We want to go do some digging, get some videos, come back with some more solid information instead of just sitting here flying by the seat of our pants.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay, Kimberly Ann, we'll go look. We have moderators that are constantly and admins that are approving posts. So as long as you answered all the questions, you're good. You're good.
Yes. So we're East Coast time. Right now it is 6:17 p.m. where both I am at and Amy is at. We will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little less than 3 hours away. We'll be back on here and we'll go over some more stuff. So we hope to see you all there.
Yes. Thank you all for being here, and we'll catch you in a couple hours.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.